Hi, it's Erica. I'm here with Gabby from TheCuriousOwl once again.
Hi. We're at my house now.
Yeah, change of scenery. I'm pretty sure every single video I've done has a different background. I've never done it in the same place.
That's great. But at least it's still in the same building.
Well,
now
yeah,
you're just a completely different building.
There's no consistency here. Today, our collab is about the book Looking for Alaska by John Green. I mentioned this in our last collab that we did about how I'm Alaska and I love this book. It's one of my favorite books. So if you haven't read it,
you need to. You need to, now.
Pause this, go read it, come back when you're done.
Yeah.
Finish it.
And check out my channel too, because we had a discussion on that channel as well.
Yep, we discussed the movie and the book cover, and on this channel we're going to get into the heart of the story, which is, spoiler, Alaska's death. I'm going to start with John Green's answer for what happened to Alaska, because that's always a good place to start. So, what happened to Alaska the night she died? The questions I didn't answer in the book are questions I either didn't want to answer or didn't feel like I should answer. There are going to be questions in your life, big questions, that need to be answered and deserve to be answered, but nonetheless go unanswered. There will be mysteries around deaths and friendships and romances and religion that never get solved to your satisfaction. The interesting question to me is, can you go on and live a hopeful life in the face of intractable uncertainty? We must find a way to live with ambiguity without being consumed by the great unanswerables. Now that John Green has told us that there is no unanswered and we need to accept that, we're going to try to answer it anyway.
I mean, there's really, there's been two theories as to what exactly happens, and he's not saying, I don't think he's saying that there is no answer, it's just he's not going to say an answer because he doesn't want there to be kind of this big, deal, kind of thing around it. It's just, this is a story, I think, where it's kind of it's up to what you think of what happened, which I really like. I really like the fact that some authors do that because it kind of gives you, it makes you really have to think about what exactly happened in the story. So,
yeah. And in my I own 2 Looking for Alaska novels, and I have both of them here with me.
She came prepared.
In the other one's question and answer, he's asked the same question, and in that one he answers and says that nobody was in that car with Alaska, and unless somebody was, we'll never really know what happened.
Because the whole novel wasn't even from Alaska's perspective. It was all from Miles's perspective. So he would have never known, which I think that's really clever of him because that gives him an opportunity to kind of say, I don't know.
Nobody knows, because the only person who would know is dead. Is not real, but past that, she's not living in the fictional world.
Right, exactly. So my whole take on the whole thing is I think that the whole incident was a complete accident. And it is disagreeable. There's a lot of merit to both theories, but the reason I think it was an accident was because, as much as she had a bipolar kind of personality, she still had a lot going for her. She had great friends, she had a loving boyfriend, and she had a lot of teachers that really respected her and thought she was a good kid. She was really going places. She may have had a drinking and smoking problem, but that was kind of to mask this kind of depression she had ever since her mom died. Mm. But through all that, she still had a lot to live for, and it was something that kind of just happened. I don't know, we really don't know if she wanted to commit suicide or not. I don't think she did. I think she was just way too happy with her life to actually want to kill herself. But I still understand, where people come from when they say that she could have committed suicide, because there was a lot that happened right up until the point she was in the accident that could have potentially led to a suicide. And you can go into your theory about that now.
So I think it was suicide, but I agree with a lot of what Gabby said about how I think she did still value her life, even if she wasn't happy. I wouldn't say that she was happy with it, because I think she hated everything.
Well, she's definitely a character where she kind of went back and forth a lot with the reader. Just from what Miles was would describe her, she had a very bipolar personality where she kind of went back and forth with a lot of things, and a lot of it had to deal, I think, with the fact that she was still very depressed after her mother's death, and I think that because another reason why I think it was a total accident was she was on her way to her mother's grave because she forgot the anniversary of her mother's death, and so I think she wanted to make sure she got to that grave so she could leave flowers there. And actually what I think ended up happening was she grabbed white flowers before she left the school area and put them in the back seat. And I think that she went over a hill, and there was an accident that happened at the bottom of this hill that she didn't see. So what I think happened was she realized, I guess she wanted the flowers that were sitting behind her to be moved up to the passenger seat. So what I think happened is she turned her head, grabbed the flowers, and went to pull them back up to the passenger seat, not realizing the accident was right there, and crashed into it. That was where I think it was a total accident, which not a lot of people actually thought about that. I talked with another friend about this theory, and she was like, I didn't even think about that as, what could have happened. Because she did mention her mother loved white flowers, and it was a big symbol for her, so she might have thrown them into the back seat and then wanted to grab them and got into the accident that way, not paying attention.
I think it was a spontaneous suicide. I don't think she pre-planned it, but I do think that in the moment she saw the opportunity and she took it.
Which I can agree. I can see how that can happen. Because sometimes when it comes to characters like that, in any person in this kind of scenario, it's not always pre-planned. A lot of times it's a drunken kind of, or drug-filled kind of moment where you just do it. I think it's very rare that there are people that actually pre-plan their deaths like that. And Alaska was drunk, slightly drunk at the time of the accident, so it very well could have been that she could have gotten into the accident that way and killed herself, but
just really upset about missing her mom's anniversary. And even though she was headed to the gravesite, I think that she would have still been upset with herself. And I don't know. So 2 theories. The answers we'll never have.
Yeah.
Because Alaska's dead. And about wraps up this video. If you haven't read Looking for Alaska, you shouldn't have watched this far, but go ahead and read the book anyway.
Yeah. Then you'll understand what we're talking about.
So it's a good one. All of John Green's books are great, in my opinion. Looking for Alaska is still my favorite. Paper Towns is a close second, so if you haven't read that,
that's a really good one.
Thank you for watching. I will see you next time. Thank you for joining me once again.
You're welcome.
It's been a blast.
Yes, always is.
Check out our video on her channel, and I'll see you.
Bye.
Bye. Intractable, did I say that right?
Yes, I think so. Yeah, intractable. I'm an English major, so kind of helps.
That'll probably be cut out because I don't want to look stupid.
Okay, that's fine.
Because Alaska's dead.
Too soon! No! No!